Ball out. Ball out.
Bow, bow. Bow, bow.
Ball out.
Bow,
Ball out.
bow. All we do is bow.
Ball out.
Bow, bow, bow.
Ball out. Ball out.
Ball out.
Me and my hitters go all out. Ball out. Ball out. We about to take them all out. Ball out. Ball out. Me and my hitters go all out. Me and my hitters go all out. We about to take them all out. Ball out. Ball out. Me and my hitters go all out. Ball out. Ball out. We about to take them all out. Ball out. Ball out. Me and my hitters go all out. Me and my hitters go all out. We about to take them all out. Dropping by the mall out. Come deliver mail on y'all route. Show them what it's all about. Just get called out. Fall out. Me and my clique, we don't fall out. Me and my chick, we don't fall out. We minding our business, keep y'all out. Break up, get up quick, then we hit licks till it's all out. I hate my job, I'ma call out. Boss of myself, child out. I'm a recruiter, a high percentage shooters. Gotta keep rifles and Rugers. Some people just trifling and losers. Watch for the jackets, at night they be cruising. I can put together. AR Kinston My hitters be tougher than leather. Can't nobody do it better. Glock 9 with the F in. Step in with my best friends. Best friend Smith and West End. If you miss 6, still catch 10. Ball out. Stall out. Pulling up outside the y'all house. Empty till we all out. I got the juice and I'm crazy. If you not a killer, don't say. Hit squad ain't nothing to play with. Undertaker and a grave dig. Best man like Tate Diggs. When you in the paint, gotta play big. Hitters ignorant like cavemen. Went from good fella to made men. Ball out. Me and my hitters go all out. Shout out, ball out. Get called out. Ball out. Me and my hitters go all out. Ball out. We about to take them all out. Ball out. Me and my hitters go all out. Me and my hitters go all out. We about to take them all out. Ball out. Me and my hitters go all out. Ball out. We about to take them all out. Ball out. Me and my hitters go all out.
Wednesday Night Live.
We about to take them all out.
Dallas Cowboys Sports in the building. Like, share, subscribe, comment. Get your friends and family and loved ones in here immediately. Don't forget to hit the bell notification icons on YouTube and on Facebook so you know when we're launching with the latest and greatest in Cowboys news. We got OTA reports. We got this and that, a little bit of everything coming up in this show. Listen, happy to be here Wednesday night. Boss Cowboy, talk to the people. Tell them what's the plan.
Well, OC, man. We getting good at this, OC. My boy OC will show up 3 minutes till like, boss got this. But that's okay because I do, and you do too. Now, we do got a lot today, bro. A lot. We gonna have to move fast. I'm gonna tell you now. Because we got a good show planned. Because you know, OC, you know what you got to do. Sometimes you got to talk to the people and give them a little bit extra while I do.
Yep.
Ata.
Yeah, man, definitely, man. I mean, look, man, here's the deal, man. What everybody wants to know, man, is, do these draft picks line up to be contributors to the organization and the team this coming season? And then also, I, in particular, I want to know, and we go get into this, how that offensive line looks, right? How does Tyron Smith look at the left tackle position? How well is Leal Collins moving around at the right tackle position? How's Zach Martin doing? How does Connor Williams look? Inquiring minds want to know, do we see continued improvement with Dak Prescott and that ankle and its mobility? All reports indicate, just to jump this off, that he's looking very, very good. He's looking almost ready. Not quite, but almost ready. So we super excited to get into that on this coming show, man. Shout out to all the people in the chat. I see you, Joe. Joe, I see you in there. Also, I see Daisy. What's up, Daisy? I see you in the chat. Who else? Alfonso, Richard, we see you all in there. And Sadiqua, we see you in there as well. So much love. Thanks for joining the show. And look, if you guys like our content and like what we do, please do not forget to share. Share. Right, that's how we grow, and that's how we go and do things. So listen, excited to get into all this content. A little bit of teaser for the people, Boss Cowboys. So I'm gonna kick it back to you when you're ready.
Yes, indeed, and I am ready because hey, listen, tell me if y'all like what we getting ready to do, because what we do is right now we cannot see the players. So we have to rely on other people that's seeing, okay? And as they're seeing, we have to have the ability to break it down. That's the goal. And that's what we getting ready to do. Trust me, all right? Because we never want you guys to become the Kool-Aid man. You feel
But
me?
what if we like Kool-Aid? See, this is the thing we never discuss on the
Jesus
show.
Christ.
Some people like Kool-Aid. You see the Kool-Aid Man T-shirt, all right?
Man.
You see it. Q got it on. I grew up drinking Kool-Aid with lots of sugar. So look, I mean, sometimes we got to appeal to the people's need to sip a little bit of that syrup. And you know what I'm saying? Just a little bit, Boss Cowboy, because inquiring minds want to know the opposite argument of what we think. And so we got to present both sides. And I think that's what we're going to do a little bit today.
This you, OC.
Yes, that's me right there. You see the whole block of sugar that fell into that gallon?
That's you.
That's me right there. Serve.
Yeah,
Plenty of
please
serve.
don't be OC today, because we do not drink Kool-Aid on this show. We don't. We're allergic to it. We hate it. You know, now, real Kool-Aid, I might take a sip, but we talking about the proverbial Kool-Aid. All right, listen, man. First, let's deal with the easy. Then we go get into the meat and potatoes, all right? So the Cowboys come out and said they're not interested in trading LVE. What's your thoughts?
Well, when somebody says they're not interested in trading you, it's because they thought about trading you. All right. So, you know, especially when it was of an avoidable question or topic. Right.
Right.
So listen, there were skirmishes earlier that Jalen was on the trading block, things of that nature. And if you look at Micah Parsons and where he's played thus far, he's played the middle linebacker position in all of these OTAs thus far. Okay, and Vander Esch has been the rotational middle linebacker. So if you can get some value there and they make the deal sweet enough, I think the Cowboys will make that move. Is it likely at this point in the offseason? I would say no. But is it a possibility? Definitely. And Vander Esch has to be the guy to come in there, stake his claim. He's on the last year of his rookie contract. He wants to get extended. At least I think he does. He's going to come out here and play like a madman and figure out some type of way to keep himself on the football field.
Right. And so this is my thoughts on it, man. We got to all be very careful of off-season promises. See, this is one thing we do here at the show. We really work hard to prevent Kool-Aid. Okay, we work hard. We don't drink it. We don't want you to drink it, because see, what we do here is we look at actions. So you got to watch those off-season promises, because see, remember, this was 2018. This is exactly what they said. They said Stephen Jones said club didn't sign Allen Hurns to replace Bryant. Said Cowboys still need to talk to Brian about his contract. Hasn't done that yet. Also left the door open to take a wide receiver in the first round. What ended up really happening though, OC?
Well, we know what happened. Des Bryant was out the door. It's always the old adage on why I personally, when I played in college, I never participated in recruiting visits. Never did. Never did. Because they always brought a guy in and they wanted me not to host a DB or host a cornerback. They wanted me to host a guy that played my same position. He was about my height, about my weight, played my same position, and said, here, OC, take this guy out around. Yeah, show him a great time. Absolutely not, Coach. I'm busy. I'm sorry. I got to study. I'm tired. I'm tied up. I can't help you. Absolutely not. So just understand, in any locker room, I'm just telling you, just so y'all know this when you look at organizations and rosters. If a guy comes into the building, he's about your size, he plays the same position as you, runs faster than you, younger than you, well, guess what? That guy's probably your replacement. He's probably your replacement. Please be advised.
See,
I'm helping people, Boss Cowboy. I'm helping people because people
Man,
don't
you
understand.
are.
They got this new young intern that came to your job, and they want you to cross-train her, or they want, here's the word they use, they want them to shadow you, right? Just keep in mind, I'm telling you, that is your replacement. You better be careful. I'm telling you.
Man, see, and my boy Mojo say, Mojo, I like your new avatar. He said that's Kool-Aid sipping at the max. Yes, and that's what we try to prevent. So when you watch this show, we really, we don't go for everything they say. You know, because sometimes they telling the truth. And this is one thing I also want to say, OC, to be all the way fair to our front office. You know what we got to tell the truth about, man? Let's be all the way honest. Sometimes in this dirty business, you got to lie.
Yeah, and not lie. Let me. I'm gonna back it off a little bit.
Bend it. Yeah.
I'm gonna back it. You gotta not give full disclosure.
No,
I guess
you been nice. No.
So if you call that a lie.
No, OC, this was a lie.
That was a lie. Okay,
yes,
that was a lie.
And it was, and they this is what they did. They said, Dez, oh, listen, man, we just ain't got around to talking to you yet. That's all. That's all, man. We not up to nothing.
Right.
Yeah. No. See, so when we look at this right here, oh, Cowboys not interested in trading. Yeah, that's after you didn't get the offer you want.
Yeah, and then here's the thing. I always, and listen, love 103.5, 105.3 The Fan, but sometimes you got to listen to where you get the information from. True. And I'm not saying that, hey, they're look, great show, nationally known. Yeah. But if you are dealing with a source that may have ties to the organization in any kind of way, and it's a household symbiotic type relationship, then sometimes they can talk through those media outlets to get what they want to get out. And that's why it's important that you listen to the Boss Cowboy Sports Show where your voice matters, because we're not going to really be manipulated by the status quo and what necessarily they want us to say. We're independent and we're going to stay that way. So, just so you know, and I'm not saying anything bad about anyone. Everyone has a job. Everybody has responsibilities. Everybody has to do what they need to do. I get that. But sometimes that messaging can be shifted and turned a certain type of way based upon where you hear it from. Just keep that in mind.
Hey, noted, heard the wisdom. See, this is why what the OC just said was wisdom. Look, I did a breakdown of the job description of the Mike linebacker, and that's mostly where LVE played. I'm gonna just read some of it, and then we go talk about it. Then we go move. Believe it or not, we got richer stuff to talk about too, OC. Believe it or not, that's why I say I'm moving fast. We got some rich stuff, bro, to talk about today. Rich. I promise you, we could have broke this into 10 videos today. Everything we gonna talk about. OC gonna be mad because he gonna be like, you rolled out too much. Hey, but y'all gotta share. I know the OC, he gonna tell me, he gonna say, that was too much, bro. You gave too much. You should have spaced that out. But let's start with this one. He said, your Mike linebacker or middle linebacker has to be the mentality read to take a pounding. So I'm gonna just go through the highlights. He would be blocked often than the outside linebackers by offensive linemen too. Block destruct. Almost never have a play where he's not having serious physical contact with someone. Now look at the last part. He said the Mike is the truest prototypical linebacker on the field. He needs to have a tough mentality, leadership ability, and a durable body.
Let me translate that for all the fans, Boss Cowboy. Your middle linebacker has to be a straight up tough guy. A real freak. Tough guy.
A genetic freak too.
He got to be a tough guy. And when I say tough guy, I don't mean mentally tough. I mean physically tough, able to take a lot of contact and play down after down after down after down, year after year after year after year, and get his body to a certain point that he can endure all the things that he's going to have to deal with.
Yep. And then I got to ask this question, man. When you read this job description, the durable body, that job description means that you're going to 90% of the time be basically in car accidents almost 90% of the game, even when the player's away from you, and then try to fit LVE into that job description. It don't fit. It's not hating on LVE. It's not wishing evil on LVE. It's just the reality of trying to solve problems for the Dallas Cowboys. Sometimes you have to look people dead in their eye and just tell the truth. You got to say, hey, as much as we like you, you don't fit the mic, because the mic is going to end your career.
So, I have some thoughts around that. Listen, LVE, when healthy, has overall played pretty well, especially his first year. LVE, and it's different body types, and this is nuanced stuff that a lot of people don't really get. Some people are naturally big and built. Some people have worked their bodies to a place to make themselves big and built, and they maintain a diet, and they push the envelope to keep the weight on and to keep their strength levels at a certain place. Some people are not naturally that way. So what I'm saying is that LVE is actually a much thinner man if he didn't play football. Naturally.
True.
He's a much thinner guy. He will be about 30 to 40 pounds lighter than he is right now, guaranteed. He's a guy that over time has built his body and has to maintain a regimen, right, to keep himself that way. And so guys like that oftentimes have the proclivity to get injured and have the proclivity to kind of wear down faster than your average person. Just a note. But also, to your point, Boss Cowboy, here's the deal about that. If not middle linebacker with LVE, where does he play?
Right.
That's the question. Where does he play?
Shout out to my partner Kevin Edwards, man, straight out of South Dallas Dixon Circle. Love to see you always in the building, my brother, a very football head and a Dallas Cowboy loyalist. So anyway, I definitely want to say that. But yeah, good question, man. Where does he fit? I say outside. Yeah, like right now, the green dot that you got on Michael Parsons, keep it on him. Let him learn and don't take it off him. If you want to prolong LVE's career, because right now, I'm just being honest, based on the job description of the Mike linebacker, it's not built for him, and sometimes you got to just live in that reality.
Agreed.
All right. So,
Agreed.
All right. So listen, that wasn't even a sauce. That wasn't even a sauce. We getting ready to get into the sauce now. All right. So, this is the thing that we getting ready to do today. We getting ready to get the pulse of OTAs. Right now, we can't see. All right. So we got to listen to those who have access, which is the media. Under McCarthy, they only allowed in there once a week. I love Mike.
That's great.
Mike. I like
That's great.
Mike. Now give us less to talk about, but it's good for football. I like that, Mike. I like that, man. Like, this is not the Jason Garrett era. Like, and somebody said something, man, hurt my heart, man. My boy Frankie said I sound like J Mac from 97.9 The Box.
That's funny.
Oh my God. I'm gonna go work on I'm gonna take a diction class. I promise you. I can't do it.
And so here is another interesting comment by Kevin Edwards. He said we were better at linebacker when Jalen was the mic.
Yeah.
Interesting point.
See,
interesting point.
Go ahead. See,
No. I think Kevin. I think you might be on to something there. I think you might be on to something. But I think that LVE naturally he's not as fast as a Jalen, right? And that's my concern about putting him on the outside. He is naturally more of a downhill type guy because he's stiffer. He's not really good in coverage. If you look at the LVE game, he's really not good at coverage. He's adequate, but he doesn't turn and run well. I mean, he's a middle linebacker. So that's my concern about moving him to the outside. So to me, if he's not your starting linebacker, he's your rotational backup. And at that point, you are looking for trade value for him, in my opinion, Boss Cowboy.
Well, I say this. LVE did not play good last year. Okay?
Yep.
Jalen played okay. Both of them are the whipping boys for the whole team right now, mainly Jalen. LVE is actually getting a pass. He should be the one that everybody is pointing at. Everybody. When they came out on ESPN and said that the Dallas Cowboys was averaging 3 yards per rush before anybody contacted the runner, that should take all linebackers out of fault. You see what I'm saying? If the first time you touch them is 3 yards downfield, you're looking at the wrong people. That's obviously the front was letting them down. Jalen averaged 85 tackles solo since he been playing. Not saying he ain't got stuff to work on. Not saying it was some plays that I was like, damn, bro. But, man, I always been saying this. I've been saying this since the season ended. I said, what can you do in a tidal wave of guards are rushing to that second level every running play because they won at the first point of attack?
Yeah, so it is something that you can do, Boss Cowboy. And now I'm going to get into a little bit of nuance. So what you do is one or two things. And this goes to the front four, right, or the front three, as you would underneath the 3-4, are getting basically blown off the football and not holding up. It's only really two things you can do. You can avoid and shed, come back underneath if you're the middle linebacker to try to fill that gap, right? Or you're going to have to really diagnose the play early through a lot of great film study and understand what play they're going to run before they run it. All right. And so then you are anticipating and you're shooting gaps early before he has a chance to get a running start at you and come off and pummel you 5 and 6 yards down the field. So in that way, Boss Cowboy, you're at least maintaining gap integrity as a middle linebacker. You saw Ray Lewis do this a lot, even when he didn't have Haloti Ngata, right, which actually, accentuated his career even more. But he would shoot gaps a lot because he didn't have a good defensive nose tackle. So he would recognize the play and he's shooting gaps. And it wasn't run blitzes. It was him just recognizing the play quickly and shooting through that gap. But LVE does not play that way. LVE is more of a sit on your heels, wait till he know you got the ball, and then try to make the tackle 2 or 3 yards down the field. He doesn't play downhill in that way. He's a different type of player.
Gotcha. All right. Yeah, so the linebacker, I think, honestly, linebacker finna be fine, bro. I'm betting on an epic year for the whole linebacker class. All of them. Even with injuries. If we lose, I think we good now. We are good. I've been looking at linebacker. And we go break it down. Man, I love where we are at linebacker right now. But let's get to the sweet stuff. I'm excited for this too. See, because it's guys that's seeing what's going on. So we go break down what they're seeing. And this is the good thing. This is the good thing. It's some good news coming because you can hear the same stories come from multiple people, which makes it true. All right? So the first thing I'm going to play, because we talking about right now, OC, not having the ability to see. Okay? So we got to listen to people that's seeing those guys, and let's try to put it together because I think I noticed some patterns. So I'm going to play this, and then I'm going to, let you hear it, and then we'll just go back and forth.
Yep.
All right. So this is first. This is coming from Neal, okay? This is his press conference. Here we go.
Oh, man, the energy's there. You can tell that the guys want to get better and get after it. I can feel that for sure. Can tell that the guys want to get better and get after it. Oh man, the energy's there. You can tell that the guys want to get better and get after it. I can feel that for sure. It's just putting everything together. getting the playbook down and attacking it, and that's what we're doing.
All right. So, because I'm breaking down what the eyewitnesses are saying. Now, let's listen to Talking Cowboys who was there. Okay?
Good to see some of the guys that we have question marks around actually in action, seeing these guys, move, basically work on one-on-one with Quinn. You just realize that this defense, man, there's a new infusion of energy with this group that obviously you need to have that. You in a situation where you physically work on one-on-one with Quinn. You just realize that this defense, man, there's a new infusion of energy with this group that obviously you need to have that. You in a situation where you finish as bad as you did last season, but really some great signs from some guys that you're looking to make key contributions in the fall.
Jessica asked me, she said, why you playing it over and over? Emphasis.
Trying to emphasize that.
Yeah,
shout out to the people watching on YouTube. Please don't forget to hit that like button. All right. Don't forget to hit that like button. All right. Thank you so much.
Yeah, don't forget to hit that. So what I was hearing, and because like we were saying earlier, we can't see, but what I'm trying to do when I'm investigating, I try to find the common themes, especially when you know they not talking to each other. You see what I'm saying? And the thing that you keep hearing that I love from people that don't talk to each other is you hearing that those rookies, the acquisitions, it brought in some energy, OC. Talk about that real quick if you don't mind, my brother.
Well, yeah, man. I mean, here's the deal, man. When you got rookies, you got fresh meat in there. These guys are trying to make a name for themselves, but they're also excited to be on the team and in the National Football League. But also, you got some great linebackers, Jabril Cox, whether you say safety or linebacker. He's a linebacker. He may play some safety. That's fine. But, I mean, you got Micah Parsons. I mean, you picked him first, right? And, I mean, you got even some guys that are unrestricted free agents. It's not unrestricted, undrafted free agents, excuse me, that came into the building. So these guys are out there with a point to prove. I also think that the veterans are out there with a point to prove that they're competent, that they're reliable, and that they got this. So the energy's good. You want the enthusiasm. You want people flying around, and that bodes well going into the fall. We just got to keep this thing up.
And so, yeah, and I love it because I think it's genuine. When you hearing it's a new spirit in the building, those are people that have been working there a while. And then when you see Neal say, no, you can definitely feel it. Like, I play for Dallas Carter. I'm not saying that like where I'm trying to act like I'm better than anybody. I played with a lot of great athletes. And I remember the first time, OC, true story, that I got on a knee with my brothers, and it was my freshman year at Carter High School, Carter Cowboys. And these guys was great athletes, man. I'm talking about we had 30 people go Division I my junior and senior year. Okay, 30. We had 45 go in a 3-year period go Division I. And I when I got on the knee, I just looked around and I felt it. I said, we good, bro. You know what I mean? Because it was the best of our neighborhood that came together. Like when you see, oh, you was on that little league team and now you're here. You went to that middle school and we played y'all, but now we all together. I sense it, and I think everybody sense it, man. I think the defense is going to jump out. I don't think it's going to be extremely fast, but I think we go come away with some stuff we go like, bro.
Well, the key that you really get, and in the sense that I get, is that you got attitude and hunger.
Yeah.
That's the thing that I'm smelling.
Ooh,
You got attitude. You got attitude and you got hunger. Even when you got a rookie, Boss Man Fat, come out and say when Julio Jones said he didn't want to come to Dallas because he wanted to win, and then he sent out and said, we win in Dallas.
Yes. Preach that,
with the emojis. That's showing a mentality. That's showing a combative nature. And you want your defensive players to be combative, man. You want them aggressive, man. You want them having some swag. You want them having some confidence. Now, you want that justified on the field, but you want the attitude to be a certain way, and their attitude is there. And that's the great part about what we're seeing right now.
Amen. All right. Now, we go talk about some other stuff. Because We've been talking about this 3-4 versus 4-3. Let's get into that. From what they're seeing. All right?
Mm-hmm.
All right, here we go.
He's a great example of the additions they've made on the D-line this offseason. They've added a lot of guys who've played in multiple schemes who can play multiple spots. He's been in a hybrid scheme in Baltimore. He's an end who can kick inside.
He's talking about Urban.
Carlos Watkins can do that too. Terrell Basham can stand up or put his hand in the ground. Osia Digizua is played everywhere on the D-line at UCLA, so you kind of get a hint based off of the additions they made of what Dan Quinn wants to do. I mean, we talk about that 4-3, cover 3 scheme, and Mike McCarthy said, look, I don't think we're going to change too much of what we did on defense last year. That might make...
Huh? See, I'm going to come back real quick and say something. So just like me and you've been talking about, the 4-3 seems like it's a better fit. Right? We've been on that heavy. They said the same thing. They said to us, the 4-3 looked like it's a better fit based on me looking at the personnel. Who did he say had an issue with the 4-3? What did you hear?
Well, I mean, he said that Mike McCarthy said, I don't see us changing much from what we did last year.
Yes.
I mean that's what Mike says. I mean, I guess, or that's what he wants us to believe. I guess. I mean, that's what you want us to believe, brother. That's fine. You say whatever you want to say, but I mean, you can call the Porsche, man. But you can't have a Chevy Cobalt engine, baby. You know what I'm saying? If you call it a Porsche, baby, you gotta have them horses, baby. You gotta be 400 plus horsepower, baby, or it ain't a Porsche. So you gotta have the tools to execute what you're saying you go do. And the tools lent toward a 4-3 defense, even with Basham.
Hold on. Don't go too deep on this.
I'm not.
Okay, you almost did.
I'm not. No, I'm going to tease him.
Because I'm going to let it play, and then we'll talk about it a little bit more. Because it's good stuff,
ahead.
bro. This is good stuff. All right, y'all check this out.
Fans cringe.
Right?
They just need to execute better. I think what they felt like was by the end of the season, they started to get the production they wanted in some aspects, especially taking the ball away. Now come in with Dan Quinn and kind of refine those things and bring in his own concepts too.
So let me play this next one, and then we go talk about 4-3-3-4 stuff. Right?
Go ahead.
This is fun stuff, though. Because, see, I'm telling you, this is what we're doing right now because none of us can see. So we got to see a different way. We got to see through clues. We got to see through context. We got to see through what they're leaking out, what might be a smoke screen, what might be real. Because I'm dead serious about this. We don't do this here at Boss Cowboy Sports. You can go somewhere else for that. No, if you want to hear what's real, you want to stay here. All right?
No doubt.
So let me play some more stuff where they're talking about what they're seeing, right? And while because remember, I'm going to say this. For those who missed the show the last time, I went through something that I think I need to go through it again. Go to YouTube, go to the Dallas Cowboys and listen to Stephen Jones break down the defensive ends on March 28. And you would know for a fact that he understands fully the design of the 4-3 defense and what it's built on. And so, when the Dallas Cowboys insiders are saying, man, we saying 4-3 with some cover 3. We keep hearing from Mike McCarthy 3-4. We heard at the end of the draft 3-4. But everybody that really digs into the differences between the systems always go to a 4-3. They always do. Now, if you're making up stuff, you go say 3-4, and you go, and listen, the OC and I also know they go run a combination of both anyway. We saying what's gonna be the major base defense versus like a 12 personnel. That's what we talking about. So we're not saying it's gonna be all base as a 4-3. We're not saying.
But but Mark Anthony is in the chat and he says, boss,
I don't even see Mark.
McCarthy likes the 3-4.
Right.
He ran the 3-4 in Green Bay. He had B.J. Raju. He had Clay Matthews. Later in his career, he had Mr. Peppers, Hall of Fame Mr. Peppers.
Yep.
I'm naming these names for a really good reason.
I'm with you, bro.
So he also has some good middle linebackers, some athletic outside linebackers. He has some tall, bump and run cornerbacks. He has some run downhill and cover in space safeties. That's what he had. And he likes that 3-4, boss Cowboy. What say ye? What say ye?
What say ye thou was, bruh? I'm starting to get afraid just a little bit. I'm afraid that McCarthy, I pray that he's smoke screening. Because if he's not smoke screening, he could be stubborn. And if he been stubborn, he gonna get himself fired.
That's a big statement you just made there. Hold on now, boss Cowboy. You might want to be careful.
I'm dead serious on what I said. Because
fired, you say?
He's been low-key warned, bro.
Okay.
December 12th. I can go pull the article if y'all want to be patient. I can go pull it right now. But
No. Just talk about it. Just talk
about it. December 12th. Jerry and Steven both came out and said that their biggest regret of the 2020 season was moving from a 3-4. No, moving from a 4-3 to a 3-4.
Right.
So if you doubling down on what your boss said, this was an epic failure. And if you over here saying, nah, it was actually getting better at the end. We started getting turnovers. We just need to keep going at it. And then it fails, you put your own neck on a chopping block, my man. Let's keep it real.
Well, we could talk about the antithesis of the 4-3 being the 3-4. We could run out of time
if we do that. We
could
do that next time. I know we could, and we did that last time. But
just a little bit. We just touched on.
We never went to the 3-4. We
never did. We never did.
Let's do that Sunday.
Yep,
Let's go into a deep Sunday because I want to get through the talking points because it's good stuff in here, bro.
Go ahead.
It was a lot of confirmation of things that I was thinking, and So check this out. We go listen to something else. Watch this.
You also said not changing a whole lot from a defensive standpoint. And my question to you is if that is the mindset from Mike McCarthy and this entire coaching staff, how is that possible with a new defensive coordinator, a new energy brought in? How do they execute that, at least have higher execution on a defense if they're going to try and run things the same way?
Well, coaches not divulging what they're going to do is pretty much
right?
atypical of coaches. And
so is it just a big smokescreen?
I assume it would be, but when you look at the league in general.
Yeah. Now, OC, what's funny about that is I got trolled on Twitter for saying that. For saying that I think that 3-4 is a smokescreen. But the people that get the checks. The people that's actually seeing what's going on was like, hey, man, that's what coaches do. Diversion.
Right. Yeah, that's what coaches do. And look, man, when they come out in the first preseason game and they run that 4-3, then you can stand on top of your helmet, boss Cowboy, and you'll do a show and say, I told you so. I told you. That was a smokescreen the whole time.
Hey, I was trying to tell them, bro. I was trying to tell them, but,
Well, listen, true to trying to be an elite coach, the key thing when you are going into a game with anybody is the art of deception and the art of surprise. So if you're
don't say that again. You can't sneak that out that smooth. Appreciate
so the key in game planning when you're going into a football game and you playing an opponent is two things: the art of deception, right, and surprise, right? So deception and surprise. So we know basically what a 4-3 is. So does all the NFL coaches that you're going to be preparing against. They know that too. They know what a 3-4 is. Why would you declare this early? Why would you tell people exactly what you're going to do before you're going to do it? They're going to study and look at your roster and your depth chart. They got common sense. They get paid too. We used to say this playing in college. Hey, these boys got scholarships too.
We used to say
you
that.
know, and these boys get scholarships too. They get stipend money too. So in other words, they got some skills, they got some ability, right? They're here for a reason. So why would you divulge? Why not surprise them? And if you're going to run a defense, deceive them, make it look like it's something that it's not, even though it is what it is.
Hey man, that boy Frankie say, man, which one of you lames dislike this video?
It's all good,
hey,
man. We appreciate you watching. Thank you for the support.
We appreciate that. Even if you hit the dislike, we're cool.
Hey, appreciate you watching, man.
Yeah, just at least you heard something. I ain't been sensitive over that. But I appreciate you having our back, though, brother. But yeah, man, that goes to show that it's some credence to what we've been talking about. It's some credence, bro.
Absolutely.
It's people are listening to us and say, "Oh, it's conspiracy." Oh. Nah. No. Years of playing does make a difference. Years of being around coaches does make a difference. The OC played, and we've been around NFL coaches. So when we say, nah, that's a smoke screen, don't poo-poo it. Because, yeah, it could be true that they telling the whole world how they go tack them. But it is, like we've been saying this for the last 2 months, it does not fit McCarthy's pattern. McCarthy is the one that said the media only gets 1 day a week up in here. Under Jason Garrett, you knew everything that was going on. They was out there tweeting, oh, they're in a 4-3. Oh, look like they came out in a 10 personnel. When was the last time you've seen that? Oh, the Dallas offense looks so much better. Look at all the movement at pre-snap. The journalist was telling us everything.
Right.
We hardly know anything now.
Right.
Now the journalists are guessing, and I love it. It's smart by McCarthy. I love you for that. I will kiss you.
No doubt. No doubt.
Because that's trying to win. That's not get caught up in the mystique of Dallas. That's not get caught up in the media circle of Dallas. He is focused, man, and I like that. If he's smoke screening, but if he's stumbling, holding on to that 3-4, we in trouble.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna listen. This is called the benefit of the doubt. All right.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna give him the benefit of the doubt in this situation and say this guy's won a Super Bowl. This guy's been deep into the playoffs multiple times. This guy's a championship caliber, championship level coach. He's too smart not to look with clear eyes and see his personnel. All right, and see his personnel and see what he has. Right. And that's why I named the athletes that he had when he ran that 3-4.
Yes, you did.
You know what I'm saying? That was the reason. Because you got to have the horses to call it a Porsche, baby. You just got to have them. And right now, we're building to that point. We could have some pieces. But right now, I just think he's too smart to make that decision. So I'm giving him the benefit of the doubt. I'm saying, nah, you coming out running that 3-4, man.
I agree with you, OC.
You're too smart.
I agree. Yeah.
You're too smart for that. You're too smart for that, man.
All right, this is one of the best. He said, why can't I super chat you boys? We trying to get to 1,000. That's one of the things we got to get to, and then we'll get monetized, and then you'll be able to super chat. If you want to get to us, man, we go definitely tell you how to do that. Put it right there. It take a little bit longer, but hey, man, we appreciate you, Jay, for loving the content because we put in work, bro.
Thank you, brother. I appreciate you. Thank you so much.
Is Somebody
Huge
that's saying,
compliment.
I'm loving what y'all doing. I want to give, man. Right on. So, also, Siddiqui made a good point, too, man. Just keeping it all the way honest. Sadiqua. Oh, I apologize, Sadiqua. I do. Come on, y'all. We got to get them likes up, man. We got to. It's too many people watching for just not to hit that like button. Hit that thumbs up button, man. All of that helps us get recognized. All of that. You got to hit that button. If you don't hit that button, we won't be recommended, and the movement that we're starting won't happen. The only way people know that we're here, because we're a new channel. Obviously, we're a good-looking channel. We got great content, but the way the algorithm work is you have to hit them likes. You got to show a computer, AI, that we're engaged. All right? So please do that. That's how you help, and a lot of people don't know that. And Tyrone Church said real quick, he said, Kool-Aid season for real. I know. It depends on what Mike McCarthy is doing. I'm like the OC. I think he is smoke screening. I think it's going to be mostly a baseball 4-3. I do. Mm-hmm. And we're going to explain Sunday why we really think that's smart. Mm-hmm. But guess what, OC?
Talk to me.
Marvin, I see you in the house. What's up, man?
What's up, brother?
Check this one out.
Oh, yeah, look, you have to be multifaceted in your defensive approach. No one plays just obviously you have your base that you play, and I think their base is going to be a 4-3. Right? Just all that you play, and I think their base is going to be a 4-3.
What?
That you play, and I think their base is going to be a 4-3. Actually, you have your base that you play, and I think their base is going to be a 4-3.
Really?
Right? Just all things being considered.
Interesting.
Oh, interesting. Boss and OC not too crazy, are we?
Hey, man, listen. Everybody thinks that you're crazy, and then they acknowledge you later as being a genius, man. That's how life is. So you have to be willing to be ridiculed and criticized for stepping out there and saying unpopular thoughts or thoughts that people don't understand at this time. Right? And so we're risk takers, man. We roll the dice, and me and Boss Cowboy, I'm gonna tell you something. We the kind of people, we go bet on ourselves every day of the week. All right. So just understand that. So yeah, we may. So sometimes you gotta be patient, right? You gotta be patient before you say that we just off our rockers, right? Y'all just crazy. A Boss Cowboy is just sipping Kool-Aid and don't know what in the world he's talking about. You gotta be a little patient, because in the by and by, in the here and there, as old folks used to say, by and by, we find out what's going on. By and by.
Miss Scouting Pro said, of course there is a basis of 4-3. They don't have the personnel for a 3-4. They do and
they
don't.
do. It's just a week. It's a week 3-4. It's a week 3-4. They do technically.
Right. It's not
they could run
ideal as their 4-3. They can make the 3-4 work. We not
they
saying
could make it work.
It's just it's not
a strong
ideal. Yeah, it's not as perfectly fit as their 4-3. And we'll talk about that more. And not saying that you don't already know Miss Scouting Pro, but I know some people that's watching go want to know more why we say that the 4-3 is more of an ideal fit, because we covered the other day heavily the 3-4, right? The one gap system, except for the mic, which can be 2 gap, and we're not gonna get into what changes it, but you know what I mean. But we got all the way into that. All right, so
and Daisy, real quick, not to cut you off. Thank you so much for the Cash App donation, Daisy. Much love back to you. We appreciate you. Yeah. And also, Miss Scouting Pro, look, if you will indulge us with your presence, all right, for the Sunday show, we go get into that 3-4 and we go break down the personnel and show kind of to everybody, okay, you could run a 3-4, right? If that's what you want to do, but this is where you would be in terms of personnel, and then this is where the weaknesses are versus a base of a 4-3. So if you will indulge us with your presence, because we want you to comment and we want to get your thoughts and your feedback, okay? So we appreciate you looking at the show.
Somebody said hit that respect button. They talking about that like button. I like that. Hit that respect button. Show some respect up in here. Man, YouTube showing now. Man, Facebook used to be like, come on now, Facebook, let's pick it up. Man, YouTube taking over. And then Miss Scouting Pro, she responded. She said, I plan on catching that show. I've only seen 2 OTA practice, so I just go based on what my husband says. Got you. And
Got you. Thank
if
you.
you watching the practice, you got to get us in those practice. You can't do that. No, you can't be like my husband got us. No. If you in the practice, Miss Scouting Pro, and you know we covering the Cowboys, you got to hand over a little bit of that media pass and let the OC and I in that building so we can have way better content because we gonna tell it like it is. But at least we know you in the building.
No doubt, man. Appreciate you.
Good name too. I like that, Miss Scouting Pro. I like that.
Yep.
All right. So let me see. All right. So I'm gonna play a couple of more things, and then we gonna talk about it. Then we go get into the Neal interview, which gets heavy because it's a lot that's happening, and you gotta listen to see. So check this out, OC. Let's go through this one.
You're talking about now you're in a situation where you are going to go back to the same defense as before, and I think the fan base is just asking what's going to be the difference between last year and this year. Hopefully it's personnel. Hopefully it's simplifying the scheme. Hopefully guys are comfortable in it, and that's why you bring in your guys from Atlanta that know your system, know the terminology, and can execute and help other guys execute on the fly. Rushing against you.
What's your thoughts on that, OC?
Yeah, play that one more time, Boss Cowboy, because I want to make sure. Yeah, I want to make sure that I understood the context, right?
Okay, so let me first say, because the first part of the context was not clear.
Right.
He was talking about McCarthy going back to that 3-4 and some of the apprehension it might be, and he was saying that it could be better based on the personnel. All right, so I'm gonna play it again.
And now you're talking about, now you're in a situation where you are going to go back to the same defense as before, and I think the fan base is just asking what's going to be the difference between last year and this year. Hopefully it's personnel. Hopefully it's simplifying the scheme. Hopefully guys are comfortable in it, and that's why you bring in your guys from Atlanta that know your system, know the terminology, and can execute and help other guys execute on the fly.
Right. So, I mean, here's the thing. To me, if you're going to run a 3-4, let's just look at this and let me just take the cat out of the bag, all right? If you're going to really run a 3-4, why did you hire Dan Quinn? It doesn't make sense. Why in the world would you hire a 4-3 defensive coordinator if you plan on running a 3-4? Go snatch the defensive coordinator from the Steelers or from the Patriots. Right, our old boy that used to coach there, that coaches up there with Detroit. Oh, he's a head coach, so you can't get him. He costs too much. But what I'm saying, Dan Quinn, 4-3, Legion of Boom, 4-3, Dallas Cowboys. You got it, 4-3. So, it's simple. It's very straightforward, man. And then, Neal, thank you very much. Appreciate that. So Neal comes in here because he's one of his guys and he's familiar with a 4-3. Well, the Dallas Cowboys, most of these guys are familiar with a 4-3 defense, but I want to teach everybody a word. It's called nomenclature. All right, nomenclature. Nomenclature means a different type of language. So every coach has a different type of language. They have a different type of nomenclature or how they communicate calls and ideals within that. Yeah, I hear you, Lemons, but Dan Quinn ran the 4-3 in Atlanta, and he's given the most credit and prestige on his resume for what happened underneath a 4-3 defense in Seattle. That was my point in saying that. Yes, he's versatile enough to run a 3-4.
Yeah, he coached in both systems, but most of his career has been 4-3.
Correct. And most of the noted success in his career has been in a 4-3 scheme. Yeah. So that's the point I'm making. Not that he doesn't have the flexibility to call a 3-4 because he does.
And we not tripping on this. Lemon, no. This is what we want. Like people like you keep us sharp. Like you make us say it a little bit more accurate. I knew what the OC was saying, but your push made him clarify better, and I appreciate that. So we never take that personal. And Will said, OC. Now it's a couple of things that even though we listening to people that have access, you still have to double check. You have to still listen very closely to everybody. All right. So I'm a person, I do read the scriptures. And I'm going to tell y'all, one of my favorite scriptures is a scripture that said the Bereans was a more noble character than the Thessalonians. But what they did is they went behind the Apostle Paul to make sure what he said was true. I'm not trying to force faith on anybody. It's just personally a principle that I love. Because what it's saying is, like I always talk about Ronald Reagan, one of my favorite quotes was, trust but verify. Both of those, that scripture and that statement are in the same. Okay? Because what you will see, this happens to the OC, this happens to me, it's going to happen to you, it's going to happen to your coach, it's going to happen to your wife, it's going to happen to your husband. We're going to get it wrong. Okay? And just a little bit, Talking Cowboys got it a little bit wrong. Just a little bit, but you can tell it's not intentional, but it happens to everybody. I caught it. That's all that happened. I just caught it. So I'm going to show it. So he talked about, and everybody can see, Harrison know what he talking about. Harrison know Bob. So ain't nobody talking against Harrison. But he said in theory, which we can all think, he said in theory, Quinn brought in those Atlanta guys to kind of ease with the communication, to help these guys get up to speed. That's actually not the case. Let's verify. All right. So what we go do is let's look at what Neal actually said. All right. Give me 1 second to pull it up. Yeah, y'all give me 1 second. Here it is. All right, here we go. Y'all really listen to this.
Yeah, in Atlanta, how much are you able to help guys catch on or help Dan explain to people what he wants to do based on your experience with him?
Now, what she asked is, how are you helping Dan based on your experience with him? Okay? Which is exactly what Harrison was just talking about, that those guys was brought in to be a help to the guys that don't know his defense. Let's listen up.
Honestly, I mean, I'm learning just like the other guys. You know, it's a new position for me. So, like the other guys, they're learning. I'm right with them. So, you know, as far as the linebacker position as a whole, I'm just a sponge. You know, taking in what the guys give me. But yeah, I kind of have somewhat of an understanding because, you know, I was in the system last year. But yeah, it's a new position, so I'm still learning it as well.
Really? What's your thoughts on that, OC?
Yeah, I mean, I could say a lot of things about that, but I'll just say that to me it's saying that I got more experience as safety than linebacker. You know, that's what I'm hearing, because he specifically says the linebacker position, right? Mm-hmm. So to me, I mean, in my mind, man, I've always seen him more like a safety than a linebacker in my mind. But in terms of the schematics of the linebacker position, yeah, he will be learning. In terms of safety, I don't think that his learning curve is there because he's more familiar with that position. That's what I get out of that.
Yeah, I'm being all the way honest with you. I think he just being dead honest. Coming down in a box is totally different than playing linebacker. Okay? Let's just look at a little bit of film. Okay? We go look at a little bit of film and we go kind of break this down a little bit. So this was a film breakdown I did on Josh Jones, and we go look at the differences when he come down in the box. Okay? So that's him in the box. You see he's lined up about 6 yards off the line of scrimmage. But Miles Jack in 47, They're about 4 to 5 yards off. They got to read and diagnose a lot faster than he does. And that's what Neal was talking about. He's basically like, hey, man, this is new. Coming down in those trenches is different than supporting those guys. I don't want to get too detailed, but trust me on this. And he go say the same thing. So let's just watch. So, actually, he was backing up off of there. Let me show another play where he's actually in the box. I'm going to fast forward to where he's in the box. All right. So we go show this play, this box play. Give me 1 second. Let me just find it. Y'all be. No,
go ahead. You got it. I think conceptually we understand where you're going with that, because typically
I actually want to show it. I want to show it because it's different when you see it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but as you locate it, I'm just going to explain. Typically that safety is going to play 10 or 12 yards off.
Yeah, but he came down like on this play. A lot of times, the weakness of the 4-3 is run support, right? So what a lot of teams do is they'll sometimes sneak down that safety, especially when you're showing running cues to be support, right? So you go see it on this play. So we put the arrow on Josh Jones. He come down and he supports on that run. He also does it at the end, and I want to show that play, especially when you see it on the goal line. So look, you can see that he's a little bit off versus the linebackers as he's supporting the run. And also what I want to show that makes it a learning curve for Neal, this is where we got to be honest. Linebacker is new. Watch the speed of the reaction from the linebackers versus Jones, the safety. Now, Jones gonna make the play, but watch the speed in which the linebackers diagnose and read this. Just watch it. They gone. They gone, bro. Now, Jones made the play, but the instincts of snuffing that play out, that's Miles. And that's from playing it, number 44, that's Miles. So you see how he snuffed that out so fast? That's years of playing linebacker, reading your keys and knowing how to go get it. And this is how I'm going to also confirm that, bruh. Neal talks about it. Listen up.
Playing center field and back to now being closer to the line of scrimmage. Does that take some readjusting after being a safety for your NFL career?
Somewhat. Like I said before, the first few years and throughout my career, I've played in the box and I've played down at times, so I kind of have an understanding of the fits and all that stuff. But yeah, I typically play around like 6 yards or so, and coach is trying to get me to bump down to like 5, 4.5. So like that adjustment is I'm kind of getting used to that, but it's definitely a transition.
Yep.
I'm not lying to y'all. I'm telling the truth. So it's narratives that's been put out there, but if we pay attention and we listen and we use our eyes and we pay attention to what they're saying as well as what we're seeing, we not gonna lead you as much as possible in the wrong direction. You know what I mean? Because people are painting this narrative like Neal is getting ready to take off because he knows Quinn's defense. No. He's learning linebacker. What's your thoughts on that?
Yeah, it's just what I said before. I mean, he's really just a safety, really in the box safety, and they're converting him to more of a linebacker type role, which I think that we're playing with this thing a little bit. You know what I mean? And I think that I'm gonna go out and say it. I think we playing with this a little bit, because if that doesn't work out, man, he's going right back to strong. And now we're playing the guy that we drafted in the 3rd round, which is more of a natural linebacker, right? Or if LVE is having problems, to your point, he could be bumped outside in a 4-3 defense. And I think he's learning, and I think that the beating that you take playing any linebacker position is much more significant, because even on the outside, you deal with tight ends, right? You're dealing with chips. You're dealing dealing with crackback blocks. You're dealing with stuff like that you don't have to deal with when you're playing safety. Even if you're walking 6 yards down from the line of scrimmage, it's a whole different ball game, man. It's more chaotic.
Yes.
It's more chaotic. It's more banging. And when I say banging, I mean it's more physical contact, a lot more. Yeah. So how well he responds to this will determine if we see that boy, it says 6 yards or 4.5, man. They're playing with it right now. It's the OTAs. And if you go play with it, this is the time to play with it and see what you got.
Yeah.
That's what I think.
Yeah. Now, OC, I'm gonna tell you something else, bro. Y'all listen. I'm not giving y'all no BS right now. I'm telling y'all the truth, man. Neal is here to take somebody's job, bro. He here to take somebody's job, and I'm finally starting to really peep it. They low key about it, but I want you to notice something. Everybody getting his weight off. All right? Now listen to this. They getting it. Now, if you weren't paying attention, if you watching this show and you tuned off, listen real quick what I'm getting ready to tell you, because you ain't gonna hear this nowhere else. You're not gonna hear this. People getting Neal wrong. I'm certain. Neal, I'm gonna just let you listen to it. So first, let's listen to Talking Cowboys. Listen to this.
Pounds. Yeah, something like that.
Yeah,
but
what you'll lose in camp.
Probably.
Now listen. Here it is.
He did say he was going to put on a little bit of weight, like 5 pounds. Yeah, something like that.
Yeah,
but
what you'll lose in camp.
Probably. He did say he was going to put on a little bit of weight, like 5 pounds. Yeah, something like that.
Yeah,
but
what you'll lose in camp.
Probably.
All right. If you listening to all the media, you know what you're going to hear? You go hear people saying that he trying to put on weight. That's not true. He trying to take off weight. That boy bucked up for linebacker, OC. First, I'm going to show you visually. Then I'm going to let you see it and hear it. And people, nobody talking about it, OC. I start finally seeing it. So first, look at his build compared to Jalen. He look more rocked up, bro. I'm just being honest. Just check it out. When you look at Neal heavy, bro. People miss what they didn't hear that right at his press conference. I listened to it close. He was saying he trying to lose 6 pounds. He rocked up, bro. Like he is walking around right now around 229, 228. That is perfect outside linebacker weight. That's perfect, bro. He got some ball. He hunting for somebody, bro. Look at him compared to Jalen.
Now, Jalen is a freak species, though, bro. I mean, he's a
but
freak,
I'm just
man,
saying,
physically.
All right. The best way I'm gonna do it is I gotta play it. I'm gonna play it. Listen to him talk about it.
Playing the box, but given that it's more full time this year than maybe the past, did you put on weight, or are you putting on weight just to prepare for more of a box load as linebacker?
Yeah, I put on a little bit.
See, that's where they messed up right there. They heard him say, I put on a little bit, but then listen to the rest. That's where people stopped listening, right? And they didn't know that he actually switched it. Watch this, listen.
Right now, I'm a little bit heavier, but I'm going to go back down about 5 or 6 pounds before the season starts.
Where were you playing last year? What do you want to play in terms of weight by the start of the season?
Yeah, so last year I was about 217.
He was 217, he said, OC. All right, now listen.
And this year I want to play around 222.
So he said he trying to lose weight, meaning he trying to go down to 222. People didn't catch that. You know what I'm saying? I heard it. Now listen.
How do you feel that adding those 5 pounds was still...
And see, that reporter, he misheard it. That's why he said, so you feel that adding those 5 pounds. Did he talk about adding or taking off? He said he taking off 5 pounds to get to 222. 5 to 6. That means he walking around right now around 228. That's a monster. That dude rocked up.
Being explosive, how do you feel like that could be accomplished comfortably, and how do you?
And people didn't catch that, OC.
Yeah.
Steve said it. He said, yeah. He said, good catch, boss. I figured Neal to be strong safety almost exclusively. He's been hitting that iron for Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. He walking around at 228.
Mm-hmm.
Bro, that's
linebacker. That's
Yes.
outside linebacker weight.
yes. And
That's outside linebacker weight.
he out for blood, bro. He out for blood. I'm peeping game, bro. Like, Quinn and him got a plan. He here to take one of these linebackers' jobs, my brother.
Who is it? Who do you say? See, I got my thoughts, but I like these. I like to hear. I like to hear you first, Boss Cowboy. Who do you say first, Boss Cowboy? And we got to land this plane pretty soon. But
I got a lot
who-
more too. Y'all gonna get the rest on Sunday. Cause these interviews are good. Trust me, nobody talking about this. Nobody talking about this. Who do I suspect?
Yeah, who do you suspect? Tell
My
the
first
people.
instinct-
Jump
my
out there and be
first
right.
My first instinct, keeping it all the way funky with you.
Uh-huh.
I'm talking about funky like fresh out the bathroom and you've been eating greens all day. I'm talking about funky like driving by a chemical plant. I'm talking about funky like, like shoes that been outside and in the rain and that you put on and you run 10 miles and then you funky. I think he here to take Jalen's job, bro.
Oh,
I said it, bro. Because a lot of people thinking I'm lobbying for Jalen. No, because I'm gonna tell you why I said that. I think Parsons is here for LVE. I think Neal is here to take out Jalen, bro.
Really?
Yes, I said it, bro. Yes.
Really?
Yes, I'm peeping it, bro. I'm peeping it. It's a lot more. That's why we don't need to land this plane, because I listened real close. They was letting out some good clues, but you really had to have your peoples on. If you didn't have your peoples on, yeah. And my boy Wendell say, oh hell no, boss. Listen,
See,
I'm
you
not
about to
saying
get
it's gonna happen.
They gonna fight you back. They gonna fight you back on that.
I'm not saying it's gonna happen, but I'm thinking Quinn really brought in competition. This man walking around at 228, talking about I'm trying to come down to 222. He put on how hard it. OC, it took me a whole 7 months to put on 10 pounds of muscle. This man was playing at 217 last year, and you show up at 228, 229,
probably 230. Probably right at 230. He said 229, probably right at 230. Yeah, that's 13 pounds of muscle. Some of it may not be, it may not be a clean, what we call a clean bulk all the way, but he looks lean. He looks in really, really good shape. And so that's a lot of heavy lifting. That's a lot of additional calories, right? And it's, whatever supplements he may use, maybe creatine or whatever. But yeah, it's hard work, man. It's hard work. So, you know what I'm saying? It's just kind of, it is what it is. K Hayes, I do kind of agree with you on that. Yeah. He ain't taking Jalen's job unless he's offered. Jerry loves him. Agreed, Hayes. Agreed. K Hayes, agreed. Agreed. I think that he has to Neal has to show that he can deal with the amount of physicality, play after play, from the outside linebacker position. And so I'm not sold he's going to hold up there. I think that he probably ends up going back to strong safety. That's what I think. And if he's coming down to 222, that also tells you that he's concerned about his conditioning. Because if his conditioning is where it needs to be, I'm reading tea leaves. If you're coming down, you gain fast, and you trying to shed off a little bit to be in your best condition. To me, and I could be wrong on that, but to me,
talk about scheme Sunday, because I kind of disagree, but that's gonna throw us off. My boy Scott walking in the building, he coming in with that heat That boy say the linebacker room been on notice since Quinn was hired. Then once he decided to move Neal to linebacker and the team to pay him $5 million, he wasn't here to play. He's here to play. Salute, fellas. Yup.
Yeah, no doubt. He's here to play. He's gonna play.
He's here to play.
It just where it's wearing for how many snaps where, and I think that to me it's a little bit of an experiment, man. Right now, I'm not gonna rush to judgment with Neal. I need to see a preseason game or two, man, and see how he's reacting down at that linebacker position, man. If not, don't waste the season trying to figure it out, man. Put that boy back at strong safety, man. He'll play well there. That's my opinion.
Boy,
I know. I'm pulling you.
You gonna start a
I'm
debate.
pulling.
I'm not gonna
pulling.
do it. We'll
I'm
do
pulling.
that on Sunday,
I'm
bro. I'm gonna fight you on
pulling.
that thought. We go box.
You can fight me.
We go
We
come
gonna
back
fight.
to that thought, bro. I promise you. I'm gonna fight you on that. I promise
We can fight. We can fight.
Man, don't get
Be
me
ready. Be
started.
ready for your fight. Be ready for your fight.
You know I'm ready.
All right. All right.
Man, see you pulling me in.
All right.
Should
Hey.
I? Chat, should I? Tell me. Should I get this ball right now? That's what I
give me-
need to know. Should I really go at the co-host right now on this thought? Because I disagree with the homie right now.
Listen, man. You can walk over. You might limp back on this one, Boss Cowboy. You might limp back. You walk on over.
I'm not gonna limp, my brother.
Okay,
I'm telling you.
okay,
Man, you know
okay.
I've been digging through this, bruh.
Oh, I've been digging too.
I'm forewarning you, OC. You don't want this fight. I'm trying to tell you, bro. You don't want this fight.
I'm forewarning you too.
I'm gonna say this.
Save it. Save
Trust
it.
me, bro.
Save
You
it.
pissing me off right now.
Okay.
You
Okay.
are. I want to give it to you, but I'm gonna stay disciplined to the content.
Okay. Come on. Come on. Stay disciplined and jump in there. Jump
But I
in there,
promise
homie.
you, Sunday we box. I promise you that. I promise
You go. You go take a L too. I'm that confident in what I'm saying.
I could. You
go take a
You
L.
know your ball, man. If anybody give me an L, it'll be you, bro.
Yeah, bro. All right.
But,
what we got next?
No. We still talking, man. We see.
Okay.
See, because this is the deal, bro. I told people, I say, listen, I know we started off on LV, but when I start digging into them interviews, I was like, say, bro, this is steak in these interviews. Steak and potatoes. If you take your time and dig through them. Go ahead, OC. I see you frogging.
No, I ain't frogging. I'm just gonna say one thing, and I want everybody to remember. In the words of one of the greatest boxers to ever box in the sport of boxing, Mike Tyson, what did he say? He's famous for saying this. Everybody got a plan until they get hit.
Right on.
Everybody does.
Right on.
Everybody got a plan until they get hit, and we don't know until those bullets start flying and you get in real game situations. We don't know. We don't got shoulder pads. We don't got helmet. We got walkthroughs, run-throughs, OTAs. Everybody should look great. If you don't look great in shorts and t-shirts, then you should get cut now. Okay? You should look great. You should look great. If you don't look great now, you should get cut now. But what I want to see is when we start having scrimmages and what happens in these first couple of preseason games, that will separate the fat from the meat, my friend. The fat from the meat. And so there you have it, man. So, I can go way deep into this with the Neal conversation, but hey, I'm going to keep it copacetic, and we can come back to it on Sunday. So y'all want to tune in. If y'all want to hear more about this Neal conversation and piece, and y'all want to hear me and the boss cowboy, the man with the plan, spar definitely, then come back on Sunday because we are gonna get into it for sure. I know because I know all that I'm saying. Because all I'm doing right now, guys, if you don't know, is I'm just egging him on. That's all I'm doing by everything I'm saying. I'm just egging him on.
Dude,
so he gonna come back to
embarrassed.
it. No, okay. You big talk, big walk, baby. Difference. All right, come on. Big talk, big walk. Come on.
See, you know what I'm saying? I'm sensing something from you, OC. I think I really am, bro.
Don't sense,
bro.
Don't sense.
Yeah, bro. I'm sensing something from you, man. I think you
study
started drinking, bro.
Study long, study wrong.
I think you bit of that sugar, man.
Okay, I dropped a big old block of sugar in that thing. That's how I like my Kool-Aid too. I mean, you know what I'm saying? Because look, if I'm gonna drink it, I want it really sweet. You know what I'm saying?
Kool-Aid,
don't try to be healthy.
Drinking the shit out that Kool-Aid.
Don't try to be healthy, man. Just go ahead and drink the thing. You gonna drink it.
All right, man. Listen, I hate that we gotta land this plane. So let me. Cause it's listen, y'all. Trust me, we got a lot of good stuff that we didn't even discuss. I hate that we finna let it. Okay, anyway, let's get. I want to finish off this. Then don't leave, y'all. Either don't leave. Do not leave. All right. Because every time I say before we get out of here, people start dropping. Don't leave. Don't act like church. All right, here we go. I want to play this, OC, and I want to get your thoughts on this, right?
All right.
All right, here we go. Hold on real quick. Man, I got some stuff in here, bro. Trust me. I got some stuff I can't wait to show. That's going to have the whole fan base like, damn, I did not catch that. Hold on real quick. Give me 1 sec. I got to find this. Okay, here we go. I just want you to listen to OC. Give me your thoughts. Here you go.
Yep.
Are there aspects to his personality that are any different as the DC as opposed to being the head coach?
All right, so he was asked, because the background is probably not that clear. He said, is there any difference in Quinn's personality, right, as a head coach? Now, he did ask him about personality. He asked him from a head coach versus being a D coordinator.
No, I mean, he's still the same coach. He's hands-on. His philosophy is the same. What he believes in, attacking, full speed, fast, physical. Ball is everything.
First, I love that Neal knows his principles. Notice how he shot at his principles like he a coach. You see what I'm saying? Notice that. You got to notice the little things when your players are bought into your philosophy. Just listen to them.
Attacking, full speed, fast, physical. Ball is everything, and those are important. Those are important components to playing good defense, and really, as a whole, as a team. So, same philosophy, and it works.
All right, man. I'm a. What's your thoughts on that?
I just think that, he's obviously has a great relationship with Quinn, so he's not going to say anything bad. He's not going to say that he's unfocused, right? He's not going to say that. I think that having the burden taken off your back of managing the whole team and you can focus on what you do helps Quinn. And I think that, if he can't excel in this role, then, it's no one's fault but his own. So he has to be able to focus, lock in, and excel and get the best out of his players. And I think that, he's going to have a good run coming out here as a defensive coordinator, at least for a couple years, with the pieces they're putting in place. That's what I think.
Okay. I'm going to say this, man. A couple of things I got out of it is, so when we first started, and we got Quinn, there was a lot of separating his defensive performances in Atlanta from him, right? Which is a fair argument, because you can see that. Like, you can see where there are a lot of D coordinators that are not good head coaches, but then they get back demoted, right? Like what happened to the guy that went to Tampa, Bowles, and he rocks, right? But from Neal himself, he's clearly saying that Quinn has always been hands-on, which gives us a chance to catch up our theories.
Okay.
You with me? To where now you gotta also, knowing that he's always been a hands-on guy, you have to put the full weight of those comebacks on him. Okay. So, as I was kind of catching up the theories from gaining education from listening to those guys speak, it made me see great things about Quinn, and it made me see some things that we need to help Quinn. And I'm gonna actually save that to Sunday. So y'all gonna have to come back, bro. I'm not gonna put it out because I don't want to rush this point. All right. So it's gonna be a combination of good things based on what we heard, and this is gonna be the question to be continued. How do we make Quinn the Legion of Boom Quinn versus the Atlanta Quinn? What's your thoughts on that, OC?
Man, that's gonna take us into Sunday show, man. I'm gonna give a couple. Yeah, I mean, you know, you gave a real loaded gun question right there, man. You know what I'm saying? So y'all got to come back on Sunday to get that one, man. There's several things that needs to happen personnel wise, and it's execution in terms of getting the most out of your personnel. And also, the Cowboys are gonna need a few more pieces before you get to the Legion of Boom level, and his assistant coaches and him have to be in sync. That's my general answer. I can dig into a lot of details about that on Sunday, the next show. April, shout out to you, man. Appreciate you coming in the show. She says she feels Quinn wants guys he knows, trusts, and can relate messages to players, allies for the dissenters. Okay, that's very interesting. And I'm not opposed to your thought, April. It could be the case. It could not be the case. I think that as we roll into the preseason, we'll get more of a feel for how he's going to run the operation. Marvin, I see you, man. He said the answer to the question about what linebacker goes, the only linebacker that don't play fast and physical is LVE, so he got to go. Woo! You're not pulling no punches, are you, Marvin? Marvin, you coming in throwing bows, man. You like, get him out of here. Get him out of here. All right.
Games. And Marvin not telling no lies either.
Yeah.
Marvin be backing that stuff up, man. So just we always want to say, man, that make sure that y'all follow us on Boss Cowboy Sports on Facebook, because now the OC and I are starting to post sometimes just on Facebook, and then sometimes we'll post just on YouTube. So you have to actually follow both to get it all right? Mm-hmm. So make sure that you follow also us on Twitter, because we got a lot of action that's always going on Twitter. Twitter is so fun. And then the Instagram too. Make sure you follow Boss Cowboy Sports on Instagram. Thank y'all so much for everybody that decided to put a couple of dollars in the Boss Cowboy Sports app. As you can see, we put in some work today on that research to really kind of break down what's really going on in OTAs, because right now we cannot see. But we can read the tea leaves. And that's what you're seeing right now. Is I think we trying to do the best job we can. And I think we're doing a pretty good job, bro. I ain't gonna lie. Of really like breaking down what's really happening, so where the fans that's following us can kind of, not saying we always right, but saying that I think we getting it right. I think we kind of, can I say, walking down the right path a little bit.
There it is. Put it that way. We're on the right path. We're on the right path. I think so.
Because I'm going to fall off on something that I believe, one of the theories that I think, because we are forced in a place to where we have to discern next moves without knowing them. But I think we're real good at that. So y'all definitely stay with us. The thing that I always say, and I believe from the bottom of my heart, and I'm going to say this to the day that I die, as long as I'm doing Boss Cowboy Sports. Stay loyal. Never devoted. We are the type that's going to tell you what you need to hear, not what you want to hear. And that's real loyalty.
Boss Cowboy Sports, where your voice matters. Boss Cowboy Sports.